So I'm going to give it about 2 or 3 more minutes before we get started, you guys. If I have not met you before, my name is Jason. I'm the owner of Om Hot Yoga here. And we wanted to just do this free day of yoga as a thank you for those of you who are continually supporting us through this COVID pandemic. As an offering during Easter, Passover, whatever it is you celebrate, just as a little thank you for continually coming to the classes through our virtual space and to support our studio with the purchases that you have been making to keep us going. So I'm pretty sure I can speak for the entire collective of Om and its teachers and everything that we are so incredibly grateful to have you do this with us, to go through this with us. So as part of this tonight, what I did was I asked all of the teachers and even a few of the karmis to send in some of their favorite quotes. Some even wrote poems. Some wrote little letters to you guys. Some are very just simple little short statements. Some are beautiful prose. So I will be reading these out through the practice. And through this practice tonight, we are going to be I'm going to be talking less about the postures. They're going to be very simple, accessible postures, but I'm going to be talking less about them and just be more talking to you. And remember that during this practice tonight, that allow yourself to experience the practice, right? We are going through an incredibly stressful time collectively as the human race. And this is all weighing on our spirit, and our emotions are heightened and our thoughts are cluttered. So I want you to think of this next 75 minutes together as an opportunity for you to let go of some of the stuff that is plaguing your mind and your heart. A chance to relax and settle into the earth and feel supported. And when we allow ourselves to feel that sense of support and we stop worrying for a few moments about those immediate needs, then we can start to do a little bit of internal. And now saying that, please know that I know that some of us don't have the capacity right now to do this work, to do the big stuff. It's okay. All I'm asking you to do is just to, if you feel like you don't have the capacity, is just to sit back and relax into the postures and let your mind turn off. And just whatever you feel you need, okay? So we're going to start our practice in Shavasana, like I said, which is corpse. As you lay on the back, you might feel like you need support. And start this practice. And if you're comfortable, let's close the eyes. As you close your eyes, I just want you to scan your body. It's all the different muscles and joints, maybe even observing the organs, noticing where you're carrying tension, what areas feel light. And then notice the feel of your breath. That slow, controlled movement in and out through the nose. The observance of our breath helps to quiet down all the fluctuations that are going on in the mind. So when you feel yourself start to get anxious, or you feel yourself start to mind wander, come back to the sensation of your breath tonight. Then going a little bit deeper, I would like you to then start to scan your emotional state and mental state. This is the tough bit to look at. Give yourself permission to feel fully tonight. Give yourself permission to get out of the head. Whatever emotions come up, we honor it. If you're comfortable, move through them. Just experience the 75 minutes together with full commitment to just being present. If there is any dedications or intentions you would like to set for your practice, please do so. If you have someone that you love that you're missing, you want to send them some energy, you just need a little bit of positivity put out into the world. And hopefully even through these virtual wave channels, we can feel some of that positivity from all the people who are practicing with us tonight being sent our way. To begin the physical practice, I would like to create the sound of Om. And I know some of you may not be comfortable with vocalizing, so you're more than welcome to listen to the Om. Just create that vibrational sound in your head. So if you are an Anjali Mudra person, you're more than welcome to bring your palms into prayer. I like my dominant hand to my heart and my other hand into my belly. And just tapping into that compassion itself. Radiating love for self. Remember that if this person within is unhealthy, if he's overstressed, overworked, everything beyond and outside of ourselves starts to suffer a bit. So this is the relationship I want you to nurture tonight. That relationship with that beautiful, imperfect being that is residing within. So joining me from this space of heart, so take a big breath in through the nose. Open your mouth and just sigh it out. Take another inhale to the Om. Relax your arms by your side. So our first posture in this yin practice is going to be supported bridge. So this is where you would need either a couple pillows or a couple blocks. You decide the height of your hips, but I want you to slide your heels in towards your bum, with your feet about hip distance apart. And then pressing into your feet, you're going to lift your hips up into the sky and place your bolster, your pillows, or your blocks underneath your bum. And then rest your bum on them. I want you to feel the full shelf, the flat bone, the coccyx area of your bum fully supported. So the supports aren't too high where your tailbone tips down and you feel like you're in a little micro back bend. I don't want you to have the blocks or supports too low where you feel like the curvature, the natural curvature of the lower spine is lost. And as you rest with your hips in the sky and feel that movement of fluids from the lower body, torso, in towards the heart space, in towards the head, just close your eyes in that position and just enjoy it. So to start the practice, and some guys who practice with me all the time heard this specific quote by Rumi. And it is one of my favorites, and it's just about honoring everything that comes up to. A joy, a depression, a meanness, some momentary awareness comes as an unexpected visitor. Welcome and entertain them all, even if they are a crowd of sorrows who violently sweep your house empty of its furniture. Still treat each guest honorably. He may be clearing you out for some new delight. The dark thought, the shame, the malice. Meet them at the door laughing and invite them in. Be grateful for whatever comes, because each has been sent as a guide from beyond. I'm just going to remind you of your breath. Come back to those slow inhales and exhales through the nose. So that quote is really something that I try and cherish and teach in my own practice, is that we are constantly pushing down our feelings and try not to experience or feel bad for having a dark thought. Remember that everything that is coming to you is there for a reason. Right? We are going through something that we need to experience. If not, the trauma is only going to be there later on. Probably will hit you harder. When I say experience these emotions, everything that comes up from that, I do so with the intention that it should be done safely. And so if you feel yourself become overwhelmed, feel yourself go into a dark space that just you feel you may not get out of, you don't have to go there. If you do go there and you're having a hard time coming out, remember that getting back into the physical body is one of the best ways to get you out of that ruminating part of the mind, get you out of that frontal cortex, the human part of our mind. So after this practice, if you feel stuck, go for a little walk, put on a song and dance around a little bit. And just get back into the sensations of our body, because the sensations happen in the now, right? They don't happen in the past or the future. And so it gets us back into that mammalian part of our brain, the center part of our brain. So for the last part of this posture, I'm going to read you our first offering from Natalie, who is one of our karmis here. And she used this poem quite a bit during her teacher training that she did. And it's called Rejuvenation, poem by Arti Chopra. Trampled upon, the tender green grass turns brown and withered, where it was mutilated and ravaged. Soon the healing rays of the sun and the earth help it to regain its green, sprightly glory. The healing of time and Mother Nature once again performs its magic. Life returns, so slowly and surely rejuvenation begins. I think it's kind of a beautiful thing to remember in these times that we are going through, that nothing lasts forever. I'm going to give you about a minute in complete stillness, just enjoying the feel of your breath, the sounds of the music. I'll call you out to bring you to our next posture in a few moments. wherever your thoughts migrated to, bring them back into the body. And we'll do so with a few deep sighing breaths together. So taking a nice big inhale through the nose, and then open your mouth and audibly sigh. Let's do that 2 more times. Big breath in. Last time. Big breath. Allow yourself to lift a little bit off of your blocks or your pillows. Remove them out from underneath you and place your pelvis back onto the floor. As you settle your hips onto the mat, bring your knees into the chest and just give them a gentle squeeze for a second. As you do so, just feel yourself kind of pressing that energy from our first posture out of the body so that we are clear and free for the next. Our next posture is going to be Supta Baddha Konasana, reclining butterfly pose. So place your feet back onto the floor, but bring your inner heels and your big toes to touch. And then gently and mindfully, just let your knees begin to fall open to the sides. So from the sky looking down at you, your legs are creating a diamond shape. This is where you might need your pillows or your blocks underneath the edges of your legs so that you find some support. Because I want this practice to be a little bit more on the restorative side, I would like there to be very little sensation so you can dive more into the heart space and think less about the physical sensations in our body. So don't be afraid to even have full support. A little bit of sensation is fine, just to give you that constant reminder that your body is alive and you don't fall asleep into the space. I wanted to do this posture as a way to connect into the root chakra. So the Muladhara chakra, or the root, is that grounding space. We need to have some connection to this chakra for us to, just like Maslow's hierarchy of needs, we need to feel supported, we need to feel safe, we need to feel grounded to be able to think outside of ourselves and work on self-actualization and being kind to others, right? When we're going through trauma, it's very, very hard to have positive experiences with our own self and with those that we're interacting with. And so I like to, when I'm feeling disconnected or I'm feeling like I'm in my head too much or up in the stratosphere, to do postures to remind me of my root. And so I want you, as you breathe, to breathe so deep that you don't just feel your belly rise and fall and the diaphragm move up and down, but you actually feel a bit of blooming through the pelvic floor. So a little bit of pulling down of the pelvic floor. Remembering that that diaphragm down there also aids in the breath as support for the main diaphragm. So can you feel that breath moving right down into the bowl of the pelvis? And then as you're breathing, you have that breath moving, I just want you for a few moments to think of things that bring you a sense of support. Maybe it's being around family. Maybe it's having routine in your day. What makes you feel supported? And how can we nurture, through this experience, for however long it goes on, nurture our supports so that we are able to constantly be in the space of compassion and kindness and love, and not dive into that self-protection and fighting for kind of mentality that can tend to happen in this kind of experience. So just spending a few moments just contemplating that. As you do, I have two more just little quotes and verses from Lance, who is one of our teachers here, as well as our massage therapist, and Lauren. Lauren is one of our karmis. She's been with me forever. She's kind of my right hand in this space with regards to the karmis. So Lance is short and sweet. Very, very simple. I'm just going to switch to this song. So for Lance, if you only say one prayer in a day, make it thank you. That's from Rumi. So that's Lance's offering. And again, if you only have one If you only say one prayer in a day, make it thank you. Thank you is an idea connected to gratitude. For me, gratitude never steers me wrong. And so, even in these times that we're going through, what are you grateful for? That you're able to spend some really quality time with your loved ones or your roommates, your pets. Grateful for the knowing that we're coming out of this probably with a pretty big paradigm shift. I think it will definitely help humanity. So what things are you grateful for with this experience? So from Lauren, I've had many moments in my life when I thought I couldn't handle anything more. When I thought to myself, this is actually as far as I can manage. I'm sure we've all had those moments. Maybe we are all having them now. But when we look back on those times and what has happened since then, we realize that we actually did a lot more than we thought we could do. That strength and resiliency, and the resiliency that lives in all of us has helped us to take one more step, live one more day, be proud of ourselves because we are amazing. Thank you, Lauren, for sharing that. Beautiful. So I'm going to let you have about the next minute or so in stillness with your breath. And then I'll call you out to move on to our next question. So whatever has presented itself to you that you do not want to bring into the next posture, we will do those deep sighing breaths together to help us release it. So joining me for a big breath in through the nose and then side out. And again, big breath in through the nose. Last time, big breath. With the help of your hands, guide your knees back in towards the center line and bring them back into the chest for another hug. So for the next posture, which is going to be a right and a left side, we're going to do one of my favorite yin postures, which is banana pose. And so this is a side bend. So extend your legs out onto the floor with your arms by your side for a moment. So just coming into Shavasana, where you then are going to walk both legs over to the right edge of your mat. And you can decide how far off the mat might go. We should have them a little bit past this hip line. So we're in that side bend through the lower part of the body. Now, what I like to do is cross my left ankle over my right, just to lock that leg into place. Now, if you're comfortable, take your arms overhead, grab onto your left wrist with your right hand, and wiggle your shoulder, your head, and your arms over to the right as well. So that from the sky looking down on you, you should look like a half moon or a banana. Both shoulders and both hips are grounded. So we're not rolling over onto our right-hand side. Now, obviously, anyone who has any shoulder issues, you may choose to keep the arms a little bit bent. You may even just choose to keep your arms by your side. Your fingers will fall asleep. You'll get some tingling in that overhead plane. That's okay. It's just a little bit of pressure through the acromion space, putting pressure onto the brachial plexus and some of the blood vessels that are running through there. And if you feel like it's getting a little bit too much, think of your collarbone pointed towards your wrists a bit more. And this will soften some of that pressure that we're creating through the acromion space. So, 2 offerings while we hold. So the first one in our first side of banana pose is from Steph McDonald, who's one of the teachers here. And hers is a thank you to you. It's a message to students, she says. Being part of the community of Om Hot Yoga is such an honor. Being able to show up for all of the amazing students keeps me going. No matter how you are adjusting or dealing with this current situation, remember that self-care is not selfish, it is necessary. If we don't take time for ourselves, we can't really show up for anyone else. Sending you all so much love. Can't wait to see your smiling faces again. Thank you, Stephanie, for sharing those words. So we got about a minute and a half. I'm just going to let you enjoy it in peace here. Remembering your breath, and I will do a reminder of breath here in a few moments. So for the person that just joined the room, we are in banana pose. You're on the back, and your legs and your arms are over to the right side of your mat. So you're really long to the left side of your body. For everyone else, just a reminder of your breath. Come back to that sensation of breathing. 1 more minute. So we're done the first side. So arms just float back by your sides. Unhook that left ankle and bring your feet back onto the mat in line with the hips. Doing any little movements if you need to. You can give yourself that bear hug 1 more time before we move into the left side. And then for our side bend, for the second side, let's walk our legs over to the left. Think of your feet off the edges of your mat, crossing your right ankle over your left. Just locking that leg in place. Keep the pelvis grounded. Right buttock doesn't lift. And again, your arms can stay by your side and just wiggle your shoulders over to the left. Or take both arms overhead, grab onto that right wrist with your left hand and just gently pull up and out. Keep the shoulder blades grounded down. I didn't say first side. If you find that your arms are kind of floating, you can always put blocks or books or pillows underneath your arms to stop some of that stretch in the shoulder joint. So as we're holding the left side, the second side of banana pose, the next offering is from Jen Mayo, who again is one of the teachers here and an amazing DJ. She DJs always for my house flow classes that we do together. She has sent a poem called Self-Love. And so this is her offering to you. The most wonderful love is the kind of love where someone stops time simply to make you happy. The kind of love where someone travels to the wide ends of the earth just to see you smile. The kind of love where someone makes you a hot cup of coffee each new morning and makes sure you have clean sheets every dark night. The kind of love where someone tells you that you're doing all right even when you know you're not. The kind of love where someone makes you feel understood even when you're lost. The most wonderful kind of love is when someone else can give you all of these things or none of them. Because the most wonderful love is the kind of love where you will always be able to give these very things to yourself. Thank you, Jen, for offering that. And again, about a minute left in our banana pose. I'm just going to let you have it in stillness with a couple reminders of breath. Gentle reminder of your breath. Again, just let the arms float back by your side. Unhook that right ankle and bring your feet to be in line with your hips again. And again, any little movements that you need, give yourself that bear hug. Just kind of wiggle it out a little bit, releasing that posture from your body. So we started on a little bit of a back bend, and then we moved into a hip opener, and then a side bend. And I would like to continue with the spine with a twist. So if you have a bolster, pillows, or blocks, place them towards the right edge of your hips for a moment. Bring both knees into the chest. And let your arms, if you like, open like airplane wings, palms up, shoulders neutral. And then let your legs just settle over to the right side. So think of them falling directly from your hips. Trying to keep the knees a little bit higher. If you need the softness of the knees being lower than your hips, that's okay too. If you need to put a block underneath your right leg for support, you can, or you can put it between your legs if you feel like that's comfortable, or you can do both. Keep both shoulders grounded down. And once you feel like this twist has settled, just turn your chin to look over your left shoulder to add your neck into the twist. So as we're holding this first side of our twist, the next offerings are from Sam K and from Andrea. And Sam's is just a short little quote from Oscar Levant. So from Sammy, happiness isn't something you experience, it is something you remember. So true. And from Andrea. And this is kind of a little thank you and little dialogue from her. So from Andrea, who's one of our teachers here, she says, I was fortunate to begin my practice at this studio almost a decade ago now, with some of the best teachers in Edmonton, teachers that have encouraged me to grow in oh so many ways. Grow my practice, grow myself, never being judged, never feeling judged, only encouraged. Grow, move, explore what your body is capable of and what your mind is capable of. Heal, heal. I think you feel it too. This is a place where you can be yourself, where you can explore what makes you the unique, imperfect creature that you are. Love that. Find safety, find solitude, find support. The teachers, the community, find that sense of oneness. Come and be yourself as only you can be. Thank you for allowing me to be me and joining me on the Sunday mornings. It's such an honor that you choose to spend your time with me. I am grateful. I miss you all so much. And I look forward to the day when we can practice together once again. Much love and admiration, Andrea. Thank you, Andrea, for those words. So we'll hold for one more minute in silence. Remember your breath. So finishing off our first side of the twist, let's just float those knees back up to center. Give them a gentle squeeze, a little bit of a bear hug. Adjust your hips a couple inches over to the left as you do so. And then just let your legs fall over to the left. Sorry, did I say adjust your hips to the left? So adjust your hips to the right and then let your legs fall to the left for me. So that your spine is a little more neutral in your twist. You can guide the knees high or low. Keep the shoulders grounded. Place blocks underneath the outer edge of your left leg or between the knees for support. And as you settle into the stillness within the twist, just turn your head very gently so that your chin is pointed towards your right shoulder and gaze out over those fingertips. So as we settle into this next side of our twist, the next two offerings are from Dave and Kaylee, both teachers here at the studio. Dave's is just a short thank you. There isn't enough gratitude I can express to the people who aren't able to completely lock down, because they are serving some essential function to the rest of us who are locked down. We are totally dependent on those people, and thank you will never be enough. And this is something that I cannot express enough. That is why we are choosing to offer free yoga to all nurses within the province, is our way to kind of give back. It really astounds me that we are seeing a lack of kindness and compassion towards these people. And I know that we are all reactive, and I know that we are all in our less desirable selves sometimes when we're in these moments of stress. But we have to remember that these people are putting themselves in harm's way to offer their services to keep us going. So from frontline workers like paramedics and police and hospital staff, to the pharmacists and those who are working in essential stores. Please try and offer as much kindness as you can to these people. Thank them for what they're doing. Thank them for the work that they're giving. Acknowledge what they're doing. So thank you, Dave, for that. The second one is from Kaylee. So for the person that just entered the room, we're in a twist right now. So from Kaylee to our own yogis. Through this ongoing collective experience, I have been reflecting on what it means to have expectations and attachments. As an entire global community, we have been asked to significantly alter our routines and adapt to new methods of simple everyday tasks. This change is significant. We cannot deny the impact that this has for us in our cognitive, social, and physical levels. But when we look past the challenge of change, we see something deeper. Many of us are attached to routine, expect perfection, and should ourselves nonstop. We are frustrated with change, and we see it as an opportunity to bully ourselves into self-improvement, like fitness and food and hobbies, work, etc. Aparigraha is the yogic principle that asks us to abstain from grasping. So instead of grasping a need for status quo, can we challenge our conditioning? What if we valued being? What if we accepted our lack of control? What if we used this opportunity to stop and ask ourselves what our true values are? So, as we rush to get back to normal, I'd like to propose a simple thought. What part of normal is worth rushing back to? That's a great question, Haley. Thank you for the offering. We'll just spend a few more moments in reflection with that. Remember your breath. And let's unravel our twist. So float that back up to center. Give those knees a gentle squeeze. Rock a little bit from side to side as you massage some of the tension out of your body. And then I'm going to get you guys to join me in seated. And so we're going to be, so you just kind of noticed we've been doing multiple directions with the spine. So we're kind of working 5 directions of the spine with a lot of this practice here. And so we've done twisting, we've done the side bends, we've done the back bend. I would now like to offer a forward fold or some flexion with the spine. So if you have a bolster or you have some blocks that you can stack or a couple pillows that you can stack, essentially what we're going to be doing is we're going to be resting forward. If you can see me in the monitor, we're going to be resting forward into a forward fold. Now, depending on your flexibility, you might have the ability to go low. It all depends on where you can be comfortable and where there's very little sensation. If you have really tight hamstrings, you can always put some pillows underneath your knees as well, which will definitely help. So again, if you can see me, it's just a simple placing underneath the knees, and you can round forward this way as well. I would love the head to be supported so that we can let our neck relax. So if that means you're putting your elbows onto the block and putting your forehead into your hands, we're stacking a few more things so that you can have as much support within this posture as you possibly can. Just a gentle stretch of that full back line, full back body fascial line. So as we are holding this posture, I have two more offerings from Melissa, who is, again, and Zoe, who are two teachers here. And so Melissa's is short and sweet. So Melissa says, life doesn't have to be easy. It just has to be true. And that really is something that we are constantly teaching in yoga, is finding and connecting to your truth. Not living someone else's life or what society says, but connecting to your purpose, to that innate pull, magnetic pull. And that requires us to listen to the heart. That requires us to have that feeling and sense of support, like I said at the beginning, so that we can find connection to the heart and we can stay on our path, truth's path. So the second offering is from Zoe. She says, when my mom was dying, I listened to a lot of Alan Watts lectures, and they brought me so much comfort. One line that really resonated for me then has popped up in my consciousness several times over the past month is this: we do not come into this world, we come out of it, like leaves on a tree. The idea of being constrained in the moment and the eventual glorious unfurling of life and vibrancy, like those leaves, will turn our faces to the sun, dance in the wind, and be cleansed by the rain. Emerging from all of this with greater clarity, simplicity, and appreciation of the small pleasures we ignored or took for granted. Thank you, Zoe. So we'll let you have the 2 minutes. 2 minutes with that. I'll remind you of breath. Just enjoy breath and music. reminder of breath as we move into our last minute. So just letting yourself slowly roll up the spine. Let the head float back up on top of the spine. And you might need a block for this next one. I'm just going to come onto my mat to demonstrate. It's called heart melting posture. And we did a little back bend at the beginning with our supported bridge pose, but I would like to create just a little bit more movement in the spine for this next one. So it's going to feel like child's pose, but with your hips stacked over your knees. So bringing your knees to about hip distance apart, or maybe a little bit wider if you like. We're going to take our heart down to the mat. So we should feel like a puppy at play with a bum in the air. And so you can take your forehead down, and if you need support, you can take a block or a pillow and put it underneath your heart to stop some of that shoulder stretch. Your arms can be bent with your elbows out to the side if you need softness. If you would like it a little bit more of a stretch, extend your arms forward. And then forehead on the mat keeps it a little bit softer. If you bring your chin to the mat, you'll find that your heart drops an inch more. And as you get into this posture, again, I want you to feel supported enough that you can let your body go. So in this pose, I would like you to feel your belly just hang. So we're not controlling the belly, we're not pulling in. And when that happens, we get that beautiful little pull on the pelvic floor. Almost like you feel the sac of organs just slowly moving out of the pelvis. So obviously this can be intense for the shoulders, so make this as accessible for your shoulders as you can. Just enjoy heart melting here for a few minutes. Any energies, powers, words, spells, frequencies, or agendas which are not in the highest good. Anything which is not of love, I hereby nullify, neutralize, deactivate, and render completely powerless over me. I call upon all lights, sounds, colors, beings, and energies which are here to bring life and peace. May we unite for the safety and well-being of all for the highest good. So be it. Thank you, Anna. And I'll do one more offering. And this one is from my friend Sam Musgraves, who is a teacher here, and she has been with me through Lion's Breath and Be and Own, all the studios I've owned. We've been practicing and teaching together and working together for over a decade now. And she is a beautiful person inside and out. She actually wrote a poem for you guys, and it's beautiful. So this is from Sam Musgrave. Dear friends, just for now, sink into the stillness. Just for now, sink into yourself. Don't ask why. Don't ask how. Think on the sky, the entirety of the sky. the blues, the purples, the pinks, the grays. Let it settle itself above you with comfort and freedom. Think on the ocean, the entirety of the ocean. The blues, the purples, the pinks, the grays. Let it settle in itself near you with comfort and freedom. Think on the forests, the entirety of the forest, the greens, the dark greens, the wet and the dry. Let them settle themselves among you, a part of your community. Think on humanity, the entirety of humanity, all the colors of the rainbow, all the colors of the skin, all the colors of the cultures, the beautiful mix of cultures that are so akin to who we are. Embrace every single color and let them settle on your cheek with a softness so subtle it becomes a part of your flesh. Think on your heart, your beautiful heart. It is always there. Sometimes it is quiet and sometimes it is loud. Try not to guide it, for it needs not your guidance. Instead, let it guide you. Let it speak to you. If you listen, it will speak. If you listen, you can hear. If you listen, you won't be afraid anymore. That one got me. Thank you, Sam, so much for that offering. So from our heart-melting posture, I want you to walk your hands back towards your chest. And I just want you to press up onto the hands and knees for a second, just to take a few cat-cows. So cat-cows, you come onto all fours, and we just start to arc the spine. With the inhales, you go into cow pose, and then the exhales, you go into cat pose. And you're just gonna undulate the spine a little bit, just to release. So our next posture is going to be pigeon. And when you're ready, let's bring our right knee forward behind that right wrist. Your left leg is extended out behind you. Now, some of you guys who find this challenging, bring that left knee to meet your right foot, come into deer pose, where you lay on your right leg. For those of you who can, and if you need to, you can always put a block underneath your bum. And then you're going to take your forehead down to a block, to your arms, or right onto the floor. And just come into our big hip opener of the evening. So as you settle in, find that easy, deep, relaxed yet rhythmical, even breath. And as you settle into this first sigh of pigeon, my next offering to you is from me. And it's a poem called The Walk. Come with me, let's walk towards the sun. The road seems far away. I promise it's not long. But if by any chance you get tired along the way, please do not hold back and rest easy on my chest. Listen to my heart, the things it wants to say. It says, I love you. I love you with every beat it makes. As by Clarel Estevez. Through this challenging time together, I find incredible solace and comfort, knowing that you guys as a community are there supporting these studio owner community that we've created, and some of you guys become my dear friends. So my words of I love you are heartfelt and true. I could not make it through this experience without coming to the studio and doing this work every day. It really keeps me grounded, keeps me sane. Most importantly, just keeps me really connected to my truth. So thank you, and I love you for it. I'm gonna let you have about 2 more minutes in our pigeon. This right leg. Enjoy. Just a gentle reminder of your breath. To release your first side of pigeon, come back to tabletop for a couple cat cows. You can go jump back into child's pose with the knees wide and hips to heels to the mat. Or you can do a little back bend if you like, cobra or sphinx, just to reverse some of that flexion that we had within the hips. Just taking the next 10 seconds just to wiggle it out. We're going to be getting into the next side here, the left side. So you'll bring your left knee forward behind your left wrist, with your right leg extended behind you, unless you need your right knee into your left foot or deer pose. You'll take your forehead either onto a block, onto your forearms, or onto the mat. So as we settle into this pigeon, this last poem, verse, is my favorite. It's been my favorite for a very long time, and if you've been into my classes, you may have heard it from me before. And this really exemplifies how I try and live my life, work in this thing of self-love. It's called Dear Human, and it's by Courtney A. Walsh. Dear human, you've got it all wrong. You didn't come here to master unconditional love. That is where you came from and where you'll return. You came here to learn personal love, universal love, messy love, sweaty love, crazy love, broken love, whole love. You didn't come here to be perfect. You already are. You came here to be gorgeously human, flawed, and fabulous, and then rise again into remembering. But unconditional love, stop telling that story. Love in truth doesn't need any other adjectives. It doesn't require modifiers. It doesn't require the condition of perfection. It only asks that you show up and you do your best, that you stay present and feel fully, that you shine and fly and laugh and cry and hurt and heal and fall and get back up and play and work and live and die as you. It's enough. It's plenty. So again, the next 2 minutes are for you. This last minute reminder of your breath. And I would like you to, again, go back to your tabletop for cat-cow, or into any variations of postures to help you release pigeon from your body. Whatever emotions from the hips have come up, breathe them out of your tissues. Release them onto your mat. We're preparing ourselves for our final physical posture, which is going to be, if you've ever done my yin practice, I teach this in every yin because it's literally, I say favorite a lot is. And so you can do this either with a bolster or a block underneath your heart. But essentially, you're going to be laying back onto it with it right underneath your heart space. So if the bolster or block goes too low, you're going to feel tension in your lower back. If it goes too high, you're going to feel stress in the front of your throat. So it goes underneath your chest so that you feel like your sternum is the highest point. And then your arms can relax by your sides or out to the sides. And you can always put a block or a pillow underneath your head just to stop you from opening. If you're a little bit longer through the spine like I am, you can lengthen out a bit. You can put your head onto the mat instead of a block and come into supported fish. So this is all about connecting to that heart space. The home of Anahata Chakra, or heart chakra. The space where the self lives. The head is the egoic self. The heart is where truth lies. So I want you to, through moments of stress, through these stressful times, try and live from this space. From a space of love, compassion, gratitude, thanks. This is where I want you to remain. So, as a final offering to you, in our 7-minute long heart opener, I am going to share with you a song. And so I practice this once or twice. This is a new song to me, but a song that I have loved for a million years. So it's not going to be perfect, but I hope you enjoy. There was a sweet cold table played and a piece of gold. You don't really care, so do I. The clothes like this upon the waterfall. Made you live without wonderful King, oh, sing hallelujah. Faith was strong, but she needed proof. Saw her bathing on the roof, the beauty and the moonlight, hallelujah. She tied you to her kitchen chair, she broke your bone and she cut your hair. From your lips she drew, hallelujah. Hallelujah. Maybe I've been here before. I've seen this room and I walked the floor. I used to live alone. It's in your side and the marvelous. Love is not a victory march. It's cold and it's broken. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. There's a time and I know it's really going on below. And now you never show that to me. Remember when I moved in you and the holy dove was moving too. Every breath we drew was hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Just gonna get you guys to remove yourself from the blocks. Just place yourself onto the backs in Shavasana. Arms stretched, palms up, toes open. Settle into that sense of gratitude, a space of love. Maybe there's a God above. All I've ever learned from love is how to shoot somebody about true love. And it's not a cry that you hear at night. It's not somebody who's seen the light. It's cold and it's a broken hallelujah. 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 So from wherever you are, bring your dominant hand to your heart and your other hand resting into your belly. And let's finish our practice with the sound of Om. So joining me for a big breath in through the nose, and then just sigh it out of the mouth. Inhale to an Om. Relax your arms. Take as much time as you need. Stay in Shavasana as long as you want. Remember to get back into the feeling body if you feel like you're in an emotional space that you can't get out of. Call us, email me, text me if you need support. We are all here as community, here for you. We love you. And thank you. I want to thank you for joining me on the mat tonight for this special yin practice as a thank you to you from us. So if you would like to chat to me, you're more than welcome. There's a chat button on your thing. You can say a few hellos. But I'm just going to leave you with these final words as I always do with the practice. And that is, as always, from my heart to yours. The highest in me salutes the highest in you. Namaste. Have an amazing rest of your Easter or Passover weekend. Thank you, guys. So just little words from Peeps. Couldn't hear you because the music was loving the music, Jason. Thanks for sharing your talents with us. Namaste. That was magical, Jason. Beautiful. This is the ray of light that will carry me through this time of love. Thank you so much, Jason. Happy Easter. Thanks for the song. Love the singing. Thank you. Happy Easter, everyone. So incredible, my friend. Thank you. Amazing practice. Love the words. Beautiful song. Thanks, Jason. Class was such a gift. Beautiful song. Namaste. Love you. Thank you so much. It was beautiful. Thank you for leading the practice. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. You're more than welcome, you guys. Oh, thanks, you guys. Oh, thanks, you guys. I'm going to sign off. Hope you have an amazing weekend and be good, be safe. I'll see you soon.